and each other. Good night.
KUAM TV8, first on Guam. KUAM News headlines are presented by Calvil's Insurance, protecting Micronesia for 85 years. Matson and the Adai Itano program. Apply at matson.com. Cars Plus, start something new sales event going on now with up to 20% off on Jeep Gladiators. Get to Cars Plus today. And McDonald's of Guam, I'm loving it.
Ahead on KUAM News Primetime.
A spiral stairway access to Tumon is raising environmental concerns. Plus, an audit uncovers millions in questionable Medicaid payments. Vivian Anderson has the story coming up and what this means for those who count on it most. And lawmakers grill the governor's land trust nominees in controversy over dismissal and appointment of a director. Mitsuki Hirayama has more from Monday's public hearing.
Hafa good evening. Welcome to KUAM News Primetime. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Thank you so much for making us a part of your day.
Well, that's a more than $500,000 spiral stairway with access into Tumon Bay has beachgoers sounding the alarm.
The project is owned by Tsubaki Towers, who got most government agencies to sign off on the permits to build it. The Guam Environmental Protection Agency and others confirmed with KUAM they've received complaints in the past year, but no issues were discovered.
Tonight, KUAM investigates as those that frequent Tumon Bay worry over environmental concerns they've noticed below the surface. A construction zone along the cliff line in Tumon Bay. KUAM capturing the project underway in the waters below Tsubaki Tower in Tumon. As we get closer, the sand starts to feel mushier than what we felt when we first stepped into the water. And as we look up, a spiral staircase with scaffolding sits along the cliff line. We get a closer look at the sand beneath our feet. Concerned beachgoers who frequent this area brought the issue to KUAM after noticing the construction well underway. We asked one of the contractors about the work being done. We were getting concerns that there was concrete being poured? No concrete? No concrete being poured. He explains it's the waves coming into this cove area, making the sand feel different. He also assures us that no materials are being dumped into the ocean. So we got a sample of the sticky sand. It's kind of hard. It kind of has that texture of cement, and now we're further away, at least 100 feet away from where the construction area is. We're gonna get another sample of what is the usual sand. You can already see just the difference. You can see this is the sand about 100 feet away from the project, and this is the sand close to the project. It was slimy. It's since hardened from the walk that we did over here, and you can see it's grayish. And then this is the consistency of what we're used to seeing of the sand, and the color as well down here in Tumon Bay. But according to the contractor that we spoke with there, the guy in the hard hat and the vest who declined to tell us his name or even the company that he works for, he was telling us that they're not doing anything wrong and that the project is expected to open soon for the guests there at the hotel. KUAM also captured this view from high above of the project and the concrete steps near the poolside. We also got a copy of the permit from the Department of Public Works that shows the $524,000 project is a spiral stair and concrete stair that was approved for the applicant JHC Corporation in August 2022. Land Management, Contractors License Board, Fire Prevention Board, Pills Board, Parks and Rec, and Guam EPA all signed off. One agency that did not, Guam Department of Agriculture, who suggested the developer obtain a marine preserve area permit. But that never happened. Michelle Lastimosa, administrator with Guam EPA, says the approved permit has strict conditions.
That they install erosion and sediment control, barriers so that there's no sediment runoff into the ocean. Mm-hmm. Also, another condition was, everything that was stockpiled or excavated from that cliff line had to be removed daily. So we actually had a complaint a couple months ago for the same project. So we did send out an inspector.
She says that inspector found no violations. Additionally, we obtained a letter dated October 1st, 2024 from State Historic Preservation Officer Patrick Lujan, was sent to Director of Engineering Construction with PHR Technical Services, Takashi Oichi, thanking them for submitting a mitigation plan. You can view that plan on KUAM.com. KUAM also reached out to the Tsubaki management for comment. And after our call sharing concerns from the community, Guam EPA confirms they would be conducting re-inspection of the site. The Guam Office of Public Accountability releasing their audit of the Department of Public Health and Social Services Medicaid program. The report revealing major issues with program oversight, uncovering millions in questionable payments to Medicaid providers.
But what does this mean for those who rely on it most? Nevaeh Anderson has the story.
The Office of Public Accountability's audit revealed serious issues with Medicaid oversight, questioning over $240 million in payments and exposing major systemic flaws. But beyond the numbers, real people are feeling the impact.
Speaking with some of our Manamku, they share their experiences with receiving proper care and treatment under Medicaid. And while some have had no issues,
nothing trouble, everything's okay. My doctor's just fine. The medication that they gave it to me is correct one. Yes. Oh, everything, the medication, the doctor appointment, any kind of medication they give it to me, they cover everything.
Others have struggled with delays and getting their treatments approved.
It takes time to process a lot of problems. Sometimes it takes 5 hours and staying in hospital. It takes a process to approve the gout medicine, and it give me a lot of problems to cover it.
The audit finding that some providers hadn't been revalidated for 8 to 10 years, despite federal and local requirements for updates every 5 years. Meaning some patients could be unknowingly seeing unqualified providers or will struggle to find future care as ineligible doctors are to be removed from the system. Poor record keeping also puts patients at risk of billing issues or unexpected out-of-pocket costs for services they thought were covered. If these issues persist, Guam's federal Medicaid funding could be at risk, further limiting access to care for Guam's families. The public auditor is calling for immediate corrective action to restore public confidence and strengthen oversight at the Department of Public Health and Social Services. KUAM reached out to Department Director Teresa Areola for comment, but has not received one as of news time. Nevaeh Anderson, KUAM News.
Underway this evening, parents and students gathering at Southern High School for a town hall meeting.
The town hall is being hosted by Education Oversight Chair Senator Vince Borja. Borja called the meeting to give parents, students, teachers, and community leaders a platform to share their concerns and insights on Guam's education system. The agenda covers critical issues including school infrastructure, academic programs, and campus safety. Borja emphasizes that this is just the beginning, with more town halls planned to drive a meaningful change for Guam students. The meeting is taking place at the Southern High School cafeteria and is being streamed live on the Guam Legislature's YouTube channel. Well, senators didn't hold back as they grilled the governor's nominees to serve in the Chamorro Land Trust Commission during a public hearing that lasted nearly 4 hours Monday.
The governor's controversial dismissal of 2 commissioners and appointment of a director without the previous board's approval not sitting well with senators. Mitsuki Hirayama has more.
Senators grilling Chamorro Land Trust Commission nominees as they face a difficult road ahead.
6 out of 60,000 since 1994. Is absolutely a cruddy track record for this community. We should not accept this continuation of, okay, we're going to do something and then just not do it.
Fabian Cruz Respicio, Joseph Artero Cameron, and Jeremy Rojas were nominated by the governor after she dismissed Commissioners Jeffrey Ibanez and David Herrera. As reported, the commissioners were not on the same page as the governor in her push to return Ipao Point.
We're at a crossroads with these CLT properties. And so that's why we keep trying to drive that point home if you're going to be able to serve independently and in the best interest of the beneficiaries of the trust.
I believe that I am.
In total, 5 bills are before the legislature to remove land from CLTC inventory. Senator Therese Terlahi questioning each nominee whether they support the transfers.
Do you believe that those transfers, even for other government purposes, should occur? After we've talked about the reasons for all the delay in use of those properties?
I am not party to the intimacies of those conversations. So I'm limited as to what I would truly want to say, but certainly in another day, once I look at it, you can call me in and I'll talk to you. I really will.
The governor also detailed Agriculture's Deputy Director, Roy Gamboa, as COTC's director, which caused disagreement among the previous commission who wanted to be part of the decision.
This question I keep asking you, are you committed to hiring your own director, or are you subject to the will of the governors to hire the director? Because the statute says you commissioners hire your director. So which is it going to be? Because I'm not getting very firm answers by some of the nominees.
If it's mandated by the law, I mean, I'm one to always follow the law. So if it's mandated by law, obviously I'll review the mandates and I'd follow the law.
Meantime, Gamboa testified he already started his first day Monday. Matsuki Hirayama, KUAM News.
Pope Francis is spending another night in Rome's Gemelli Hospital as he continues to battle double pneumonia.
While the Vatican reports a slight improvement, the 88-year-old pontiff remains in critical condition as Catholics worldwide pray for his recovery, placing their faith in God's hands.
Healing prayers for the leader of the Roman Catholic Church are pouring in from around the world, including from the faithful here on island.
I'm very concerned and I feel bad for him. I'm praying regularly for healing if that's God's will.
Pope Francis has spent 11 days in the hospital battling pneumonia in both lungs. But in an update Monday night, the Vatican confirming that while his condition remains critical, there has been a slight improvement, a hopeful shift from just 2 days ago. Guam's Archbishop Ryan Jimenez urging continued prayers on Sunday as the Holy Father underwent blood transfusions and faced an asthma-like respiratory crisis.
I hope he gets better and all that. We'll pray for him and all that.
Devout Catholics are doing just that, keeping the pontiff in their hearts during midday mass at the Chapel of St. Therese at the Cathedral Basilica in Hagåtña. The Vatican also reported that the Pope has had no new episodes of respiratory distress, noting that his mild kidney insufficiency is not a cause for concern.
The Lord takes that and gives it away. So whatever he's going through, he'll be okay.
I think, he has so many challenges, so I'll leave it up to God.
Despite his illness, the Pope is still carrying out his duties, getting back to work and making a call to a Catholic pastor at a parish in Gaza. Meanwhile, thousands have gathered in St. Peter's Square, lifting their prayers for his recovery.
Prayers for his speedy recovery, of course. Time for a quick break.
You're watching KUAM.
Look at the landscape of sports media, there's different gaps that we kind of saw that we can fill on a more creative front. With social media, we found our way into this new space of what sports offers on the island. Growing up in Alahan, early on we understood this whole notion of community.
Overall, we're a sports media company. When Clutch started, it was just me and Dom. We would have our own camera, edit, post, University of YouTube, baby.
It didn't feel like work at the time, right? So for us, the biggest challenge was just how are we going to sustain this business? We offer in-house uniform production, fashion, our new launch in the music side, Clutch Music. We're never afraid to go out of the box and just see what sticks, right? See what the audience gravitate towards. Sports is elevating on the island, so I just envision us keeping on the same path and growing as the sports community continues to grow.
Hey, I gotta give you a heads up about something. If you're still rocking that old school cable box, bad news. It's about to go bye-bye. Come February 28, 2025, that old cable system is shutting down. If you don't switch over to DTV Plus, your TV is basically gonna become like this paperweight. Dude, but don't freak out. Making the switch is super simple. All you gotta do is you gotta take that old box and you gotta bring this back to Docomo Pacific and you're gonna upgrade to this little thing. Boom, you're all set. No more bulky boxes, crazy tangled cords. Dude, just clean DTV Plus streaming straight to your TV, straight to your phone, your laptop, or your iPad. Dude, don't wait till the last minute because February 28th is gonna sneak up real quick. Just go to Docomo Pacific today and get your upgrade locked in. And if you're like me and you hate waiting in line, book your appointment online at docomo.skiplino.live to save time. Trust me. You'll thank me later.
When I was younger, my calling was to play football. But as I grew older, I grew wiser. I realized life isn't about how many people you can knock down. It's about how many people you can lift up. At Ram, our calling is to build game-changing trucks. So when you find your calling, nothing can stop you from answering it.
A manhunt is underway for a suspect wanted in connection to a police investigation.
Authorities late today releasing a wanted flyer for the suspect who also has an active bench warrant. 39-year-old John Lanata is wanted for questioning in connection to an assault and family violence investigation. He was last seen at the Beachway Manor condo in Tumon. Anyone with information is asked to call GPD dispatch at 671-475-8615 through 17.
The two men accused in violent gang activity across Guam are now both negotiating a potential deportation deal.
The co-defendants appeared before Judge Vernon Perez in Superior Court today. Mesamwan Repwak and June Manu were both given a deportation deal from prosecutors, but the government continues to wait for a response from Immigration and Customs Enforcement to verify if they would be able to cover the travel expenses. The pair stand accused in violent attacks that include a shooting in Mighty. Both are back in court on March 24.
A drunken man is under arrest accused of attacking a pregnant woman known to him. 22-year-old Gerald Silam is charged with aggravated assault, family violence, and assault of an unborn child. Court documents stating Silam attacked the expectant mother with a metal chain. A witness allegedly telling police Silam yanked the victim down the stairs before hitting her with the chain and kicking her. The woman declined transport to the hospital for treatment.
An MMA fighter already facing allegations of importing more than 5 pounds of meth is back in prison after a riot reported in Tumon early Monday morning. Ricky Camp and Jasmine Rivera are each charged with multiple counts of assault and disorderly conduct. Camp is also charged with family violence. Court documents state Camp was allegedly attacking Rivera when bystanders tried to intervene. That's when the couple then allegedly attacked the bystanders, repeatedly punching and kicking them. 2 other bystanders were allegedly attacked by Camp while trying to break up the fight.
A woman is under arrest accused of stealing nearly $1,000 worth of gas over a 2-month time frame. 64-year-old May Perez charged with theft of property. Court documents state the alleged thefts occurred between November 28th of last year and January 4th. Perez allegedly admitting to police she needs to pay it back. Now for your world at home.
Here's a view captured in Hagåtña.
Honey, do you want some milk?
Do you ever wonder how your favorite products make their way into your local stores? Most arrive on state-of-the-art Matson vessels that transport containers of food, household items, equipment, and supplies into the islands every week. Because we know that you depend on us, we work closely with our partners to ensure that our shipments arrive on time, all the time, so you can find your favorite products when you need them. We transport the region's most precious cargo that supports successful businesses and promotes a better quality of life for our families. Matson is proud to have been the hometown shipping carrier for Guam, the CNMI, and Micronesia for the past 25 years, and you can count on us to be here for generations to come.
Hey, I got the job. So I can go part-time. Yes!
Some days bring new opportunities. First Hawaiian Bank can help you say yes to making the most of them. Manage your accounts, earn cash back, and when you need advice, we're here for you.
We should really get him into an art program.
No matter where your journeys take you, you can bank on the best. First Hawaiian Bank. It all starts with yes.
Career Tech Academy Charter School, still considered a new program, sits on the Hogget Shore. And the mighty Seahawks have made history for their school with this year fielding the first boys interscholastic basketball team.
It's quite historical. It's the first time we've had a formal team enter at the varsity level. For almost all of my sons behind me, it's the first time they ever donned a uniform for a high school. It gives their families a reason to come together for the first time. And if there's anything that can be achieved, they've already won.
We're enjoying it as much as we're taking it seriously, because you know, some of us boys are like their first time. You know, they don't really know how to play, but we just take it as for fun. We just enjoy it and spend more time as much as we can.
And while the campus sports a breathtaking backdrop that's absolutely unbeatable, their hardwood squad is winless. But they've already got the fighting spirit and a desire to compete.
Trying to be as consistent as possible, just trying to use good examples to show them ways that we can compare the way our season has gone, you know, against some of the other boys that we know are on the island that are training and competing every day.
We gather as a team and practice every day of the week, even weekends, besides Sunday. And we just go over and over our mistakes and try not to do it. And then on game days, it happens, but right after games, we go back to practice and pick up from where we left off.
Now, a first season for any sport is tough, usually involving taking your lumps and establishing your identity. But victory will come at some point, and Coach Brett Starr uses an analytics approach to show his roster how they've improved and grown.
To be able to use certain examples like turnovers or missed free throws to be able to dissect the game to show that we were maybe a lot closer to our opponent in the way the score reflects at the end of the game.
Having island-wide enrollment, not all the players live in the surrounding South.
Keeping the boys together and bringing them together can be a challenge because I would say more than half of them are coming from villages like Dededo, Barragata, a lot of the villages in the north. So we do spend a fair amount of time trying to coordinate just transportation.
And despite the fact that they have yet to get into the win column, they've already earned their place in the league by proving they can hang with some of the more traditional powerhouse schools.
So we've had a couple of games now, a handful of games where we did have a shot at pulling off a win.
St. John's, because our defense was on point.
FD handed us a great loss, but they were smiling and they enjoyed themselves.
We've been close with Harvest, St. John's, and Guam High at one point was fairly competitive. Sanchez, to a big surprise, was very close in the early quarters.
Each game we go to, we keep that positive, we keep that mindset that we're gonna win, we plan out that, and when they don't go as planned, we just go back to practice and pick up from there.
Only a few weeks into the regular season, the school's building their legacy as the first to wear their numbers and proudly fly their school colors in hardwood competition.
You just go to a game and you watch them don the uniform and you see it in their face. First of all, they have nice uniforms, so we'll give them that. Second, they're not just, and so I reinforce that they're at the highest level of competition in high school, despite the record, they've already won.
It's history, honestly. It's to be a first person to be on a Career Tech basketball team ever, and to be with these guys is awesome, honestly.
Hey, Lise, what's in the bag? A barbecue bacon QPC from McDonald's.
Oh, you mean the Angel Reese special? I'll play you for it.
I've been waiting for you, OG. And if I win, McDonald's on me. You know my game, right?
Oh, yeah, I know.
Let them know.
Oye, vámonos, let's get it.
I got something for you, Aaliyah.
All right, let me see it. Now she blocked it. Yo, Stewie, wanna text the bag? Golly, right here with you. Right here with you. Nothing but net. Get the injury special at McDonald's. Ba-da-ba-ba-ba.
Don't need a work break, keep the smile on your face. The moments you can't replay, and I'll be around. Whoa, you can count on me. You can count on me for life.
Wherever life takes you, we're always here for you. Calvo's Insurance. Count on us for life.
Island Cancer Center has the only state-of-the-art Halcyon Linear Accelerator, providing radiation treatments in the Asia-Pacific region. We are excited to be back up and running after Typhoon Mawar. We have been providing the highest quality patient-centered care for 14 years and will continue to do so. Why? Because we love what we do. Island Cancer Center, our family treating your family. Visit us at islandcancercenter.com or call 671-646-3363.
Hafaday, my name is Gavin Duenas, a senior from Teason High School and a KUAM Spark Ambassador. Today, we're celebrating an outstanding achievement in STEM by a team of talented students from George Washington High School's STEM Club, who recently won the prestigious NASA Tech Rise competition. To learn more about their incredible journey and what this achievement means for them, Spark Ambassador Janessa Alere speaks with the team.
Thank you so much, Gavin. Buenas and Hafaday. Today, I am here at George Washington High School with STEM Club President and Project Lead, Miteshi Ghosh, and their advisor, Ms. Jessica DeVera, where they'll be delving into their winning project of breathing air, condensation through the stratosphere. What exactly is the NASA Tech Rise competition?
So NASA Tech Rise competition is basically a challenge that's issued to all kinds of schools from like elementary to high school, where they submit a proposal about what they wanted to experiment when they launched their experiment into a high altitude balloon.
Can you tell us about your project and how you came up with it?
So originally I initiated this idea to my team, like, hey guys, do you want to do this? We wanted to find something that would help everyone. So we kind of thought of an alternative water supplement. That's how we kind of came up with the idea of finding condensation in space.
What was the biggest challenge you and your team faced while developing your project?
I think the biggest challenge we faced was not just coming up with the idea itself, but because our team has like many different strengths. We have artists, we have writers, we have speakers. So I think our biggest challenge was trying to combine all of that to make one team.
How did your team collaborate and divide responsibilities throughout the competition?
Since we have such a diverse body, we kind of divide the work into sections depending on each individual's strength. One thing I really appreciate about the NASA Tech Rise competition is their strong encouragement to try and learn new fields. Even if we have no experience in a certain field, they were very open to us joining that and learning from it.
What advice would you give to students who want to participate in similar competitions?
Well, the biggest advice I can give is that they should try. So rather if it's hard or challenging, they should try it anyway, because you never know, you might end up doing something well. And even if you don't win, you can always learn from the feedback you're given.
What was the most valuable lesson you and your team learned from participating in the NASA Tech Rise competition?
The most valuable lesson my team learned from the NASA Tech Rise Challenge was the importance of adaptability and collaboration. This experience definitely taught us that setbacks aren't failures, but instead learning blocks for better solutions.
What's next for you and your team after this big win?
I hope the future of GWHS's STEM Club continues to shine brightly, and I hope future club members were inspired to continue representing Guam and continuing to join these competitions.
Thank you, Janessa. Congratulations again to the George Washington High School STEM Club on this incredible achievement. Their success is a testament to the innovation and dedication of students in STEM. Thank you all for tuning in, and we look forward to sharing more inspiring stories in the future. Sizos Maasi, and take care.
You know what is right around the corner? March. You know what also is right around the corner? Charter Day. We got stuff coming up about that, so make sure to stay tuned. All right, for the present moment, St. John's, the IB Visual Arts Exhibition entitled Currents on Identity will be on display until February 28th at KUAM. Make sure to check it by Monday to Friday, 9 to 4. You are invited to an exhibition of Islam, speaking of my alma mater, over at the College of Business and Public Administration on Islam, the traditions, the practices, the philosophies. Please make sure to check it out. Beautiful, beautiful religion. And the Guam Women's Chamber of Commerce is having their golf party, the 12th annual time they have hosted this wonderful golf tournament. It's going to be out on the links at CCP down in Ipan, March 7th, so please make sure to wear your St. Patrick's Day best. All right, that's what's going on for News Bites.
Now for your Cold Stone Creamery Birthday Club shoutouts,
which you can submit on KUAM.com.
Udin Kanata Rosalind, we love you with all our hearts and happy birthday to you. May the Lord bless you always. Have a wonderful day, son. Say Dad, Mom, Jaron, Noah, Caden, and Isaiah. And Kalia Rivera, happiest of birthdays to you. Nino and are wishing you a wonderful day, and please know that we love and adore you. Happy birthday, number 8.
That's your primetime show. Thanks for watching. I'm Nick Delgado.
And I'm Destiny Cruz-Lingus. Have a great evening and stay beautiful.
Health, Home, and Lifestyle is brought to you by the Medical City, your trusted partner in health. Hafa and happy Tuesday, everybody. Welcome to Health, Home, and Lifestyle. I'm Jason Salas, and on yet another episode, we are showing you how to live a healthy and happy and informed island life. Here's what we got for you this week.
House to Home, presented by Remax Diamond Realty.
Okay, everybody, without beating around the bush, I am Jason. She is Gina. Our dear, dear friend, the wonderful Liz Duenas, is in Sin City. She is in Vegas, not Sinahanya, but she's in Vegas right now. She's got tickets apparently to watch Celine Dion tonight. So we are going to talk about property because Liz.
We're at the Remax convention, Jason.
Okay. Well, you know, there's a bunch of shows you could go to, and I hear there's there's a crap table or two if you're into that kind of thing. But, you know, what we do want to tell people is this is a very, very important time. Gina, you actually brought this topic up and everything because everybody's looking at, you know, income taxes as far as April 15th. That is income tax day. Property taxes are due basically now.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. There are 2 installments, right? February and April, but most of us should have received our tax bill in December or towards the end of December. And here's the way the law reads. If you did not get your tax bill or your lender, because most of us who have a loan, our lender would have received our tax bill. But I suggest that even if it goes to your lender, you should call the lender and make sure they got it. It is, you know, the way the law reads, it is your responsibility to make sure you got your tax bill. It is not Revenue and Taxes' responsibility to make sure you got it, but yours. And if you didn't get your tax bill and you don't pay your tax, you will be responsible for the late fees.
Or if you
check it.
The other thing is if you purchase property in 2024, sometimes it takes a while for Rev and Tax to get caught up with sending you the tax bill. So if you didn't receive it, what's happening now is the previous owner will send us the tax bill, then we forward it to the new owners. But the response, as Gina puts it, the responsibility does fall on the current owner. So for all of you that bought a piece of property in 2024, remember that escrow company prorated the tax and gave you the prorated amounts so that come 2025, you are responsible for paying that bill. So if you didn't get it, call Rev and Tax or show up and try to get that bill because as Gina puts it, you will be penalized.
Okay, now for the benefit of like say first-time property owners now, ladies, when we talk about, you know, this, you said if you acquired property in 2024, is that the calendar year, the fiscal year, or the tax year?
The calendar year.
All of the above. It's your tax year, your fiscal year, all of that. So 2025, you are paying for 2024. So, you know, and Jason, we wanted to share that document. It's called Board of Equalization.
Yeah, let me get that up real quick.
Because if you received your tax bill.
There we are.
You have any questions at all, This is the Department of Revenue and Tax division that you should be talking to. It's called Board of Equalization. And there's a few things. I mean, if you want to contest the value, and you know, contesting the value isn't just about going in there and saying, you know, based on what I bought it for, or based on my last appraisal value, my tax assessed value is too high. It could also be that your tax assessment value is too low. Now, we do encourage you, if your tax assessment value is too low, you've got to go let revenue and tax know about that. And why is that? Well, the reason is, by the time revenue and tax catches up with it, in some instances, they will back bill you for failing to notify them that you added something onto the property, or, I mean, any substantial change. You should notify revenue and tax so they can tax you accordingly. So if you're looking at your tax bill and you're saying, wow, I think this is a little too low, you're technically obligated to notify them and go in and say, hey, I think there's a mistake here. And
yeah, typically with these kind of commercial transactions, you can't claim ignorance as a defense and everything. You know, if you are delinquent, I mean, you know, you do owe.
Also, you want to bear in mind that the last government tax assessment was done in 2015. And if you get a tax assessment, let's say you get something that's valued at 100,000 from 2015, it may now, I mean, there are two sides. One could be it got higher in price, and you want to make sure you know that the values have changed, because it's a snapshot in time. Or if the market has shifted for your particular area and the prices may have gone down. Of course, I think everybody wants to pay less for taxes. No one wants to pay more. But at the same time, you have to be knowledgeable on where you stand with your taxes. You don't want to wait a year or two later and then end up having to pay penalties or a higher tax beyond a higher tax value that the government has. But I do know, I think, Gina, they're working right now on reassessing values, right?
Correct. From my understanding, they started the process, but you know, if you've recently, and it doesn't mean to say that you shouldn't go in. If you feel, let's say for instance, you got your tax bill and the value stated on the tax bill is quite different from what you just purchased the property for, or what your last appraisal says, it does not stop you from going in there and filling out the form, or going online and filling out the form from the Board of Equalization. That's the application form. You fill it out. If you have an appraisal, that's fantastic. You can submit the appraisal report. If you don't have an appraisal, but you just recently purchased it, and you've got your settlement statement that shows what you paid, and it shows a difference in value there, you can also turn that in. They even encourage you that if you're going to do the application and you want to submit photos, do that as well. Now, in our work with Liz and myself, we have noticed that sometimes an owner will ask us to do evaluation, and I will confirm with revenue and tax as to the size of the home that they have on record. And I've noticed on a few occasions, not that often, maybe 25% of the time, I am noticing that the square footage of the home that revenue and tax has is different from what I, you know, have it. It is a practice for me to have the house measured, and I've noticed that they are different. And usually it's different in that the house is much smaller than what revenue and tax has. And in those occasions, I noticed that they took the total living area as the roof line, and that included like patio areas were added as living area, and that can change the value significantly. And so in that case, I really encourage people, even though your lender is getting your tax bill, you should call revenue and tax and say, I want to see my tax bill, and you should check it to make sure it's accurate. And if it isn't, we encourage you to take the opportunity to file with the board because the deadline to file is March 15th.
Yeah, and since you brought it up, Gina, I'm gonna bring up this document that you shared once again. So here, everybody, is the total or the criteria with which Rev Tax actually determines the value of your property that you'll be taxed on, right? So you've got assessor's appraised value, the owner's estimate of the market value, and then some other things, cost of improvement. So, any enhancements, as you said, like if you put in a deck, if you put a patio, I always talk about like circular staircase because I like those kind of things, above ground pool, and then fire insurance value. That's interesting.
New year, new me. A year of possibilities starts now, and it all begins at Kmart. From health to home, we got everything you need to start fresh and thrive in the new year. Kickstart healthy habits with pantry essentials and nutritious options for your family. Keep your home sparkling with cleaning solutions designed to make life easier and fresher. Looking to crush your fitness goals? Find workout gear and activewear to get you moving. Need to revamp your style? Check out our newest apparel for the whole family. And for the heart of your home, discover appliances and home goods to make your life easier and more comfortable. Busy families, moms on the go, and everyone in between. Kmart is here for you. A fresh start is just one shopping trip away. Kmart. New year, new me, a year of possibilities. Find it all at Kmart.
Introducing GTA Air Fiber. Air Fiber uses next-gen wireless technology to bring an ultra-fast and super reliable internet connection to your home through the air. No wires required. With speeds of up to 500 megabits per second that cable and satellite can't match. Now, the whole family can stream, game, download, and surf the web like never before. Elevate your connection with GTA Air Fiber. Call us or visit gta.net today.
The other thing we don't have there, Jason, is if you are now a senior citizen, you want to go and file for, because there's a reduced tax assessment if you're a senior citizen. And those are things that if you've turned a certain age, you need to go in there and apply for it. So if there's a discounted rate for senior citizens, and there's a deadline, I think of March something, for you to apply. So again, you may want to check with Rev Tax, but if you've reached, what is it, Gina, age, I think 55 now?
55.
They consider 55 age as a senior citizen, you get a reduced tax rate for your primary residence.
They told my mom that a few years ago, and my mom had no idea.
Right.
And she was like, I didn't even know that applied.
Yeah, and of course, people want to pay less. Now, they should, again, go if you're 55 and over and you haven't done that, we recommend you go to Rev Tax, file that exemption form as a senior citizen, and get a discounted rate on your property tax for your primary residence.
Okay, Gina, let me ask you real quick, right? Because one thing that we talk about a lot in the show, because it is such an important thing for our people to know, is the probate process, right? What if you actually have a property that belongs to your family, but it's stuck in probate? Technically, it's still, it's still under the ownership of the estate. They just haven't determined exactly who gets it. How is that property taxed?
It's the same. The process for that is the same, even though it's in probate. The way they value the property is the same. I think the only difference is it's now under probate, so maybe you already have an administrator, but in terms of how you still owe it, and every family handles it differently. Some administrators will just go in there and pay the bill and turn in the receipt to the attorney, and when it's all said and done, then the person who paid the bill gets reimbursed. But yeah, it's processed the same. And that's a good point. Maybe your property is going through probate, but you want to go ahead and utilize the Board of Equalization because you don't agree with the valuation. It's still the same. I would say fill out the form as an administrator, go turn it in, and take advantage of the discounts that we're talking about today, and the other one that Liz just brought up, the senior citizen discount. And there's an occupancy discount. So if you live in the home, you can go file for that exemption. You don't have to just be, the exemptions are not just applicable to seniors. If you actually occupy your home, so you're a young family that just bought your home, you're entitled to a discount as well. So you can go to Revenue and Tax and ask for the forms, the exemption forms. You fill it out, you submit it to them, and it'll go into effect for the 2026 for this year. but still, we need all the breaks we can get. So go take advantage of them. And
the reason why we've
dedicated
an entire episode of our show to this is the savings, if you do it right and follow, the recommendations that Liz and Gina are making, are substantial.
Yeah,
that's right.
Yeah.
Okay, so again, we talk about probate so much, and I can see someone listening to this right now, yelling at the computer screen on YouTube and saying, but wait a minute, my property's in probate, so technically it's not mine yet, and yet I'm still going to be taxed on it. That doesn't seem right.
They're taxed no matter what. If you're an administrator, the responsibility falls on you to make sure the taxes are paid. Again, when the attorney handles the probate, it goes through court. Usually the administrator's expenses that were paid out of their pocket, it gets reimbursed in the end. Now, even if there are, let's say, 10 members in the family, one person, the administrator, makes the payment. In the end, let's say the property gets sold, the attorney would normally subtract all the expenses involving that particular real estate, whether certain items were paid, survey was paid, they would normally subtract that in the end and reimburse the party that paid for it. And then any remaining proceeds will be distributed to the remaining heirs, depending on how the probate goes, how the distribution of heirs. Nothing's free, everything is paid for. And usually Gina and I have seen many family members were not able to afford to pay for certain things. One family member rises to the occasion and says, no problem, I'll take care of it. But in the end, that person gets reimbursed. There's no free rides.
You know what is free though? Information, and that's what we're passing along to you today. Gina, how often around this time of year does your brokerage and your agency get clients coming in and saying, I'd like to save a little money, or, like, I didn't realize how much I can save, and, I've been doing it wrong all this time. I'm just cutting a check.
It does occur, but not as often as we'd like, because I think people, generally speaking, they get their tax bill. They, we make the assumption that they're correct, and we pay them. And so a lot of people don't realize that there is a mechanism if you don't agree with the tax bill. Very few people actually challenge revenue and tax. And I think 80% of us feel, we look at that tax bill and perhaps we relate it to other tax bills from other areas that we've been to. And we're like, oh my gosh, this is like so cheap. I'm so grateful. But this is about value, and it's about value in Guam, and it's about, how we pay our taxes here. So I just want to, let you know, and I'm telling you, the tax bills have gone up, and it should be, and we're just asking people to be vigilant, take a look at your bills, make sure it's accurate. And it's both ways, not just if it's too high, if it's too low also, because you don't want that to come back and bite you later when they want you to catch up for 10 years worth of undervalued assessment. Yeah. So you want to do that right away. If there's a mistake, let's fix it right away. And we talked about turning in your appraisal value and turning in if you just recently bought it, but they also will allow you to do market value, which, you could reach out to us and we could give you comparables, because they actually use that word in their write-up. You can give them comparables, or you reach out to a realtor that you know of, or reach out to me and Liz, and we're happy to send you comparables that you can use as part of your application process.
Very nice. Okay, Liz, well, final word is yours, because I know you've got a dinner and show, and nobody waits in Vegas, just like nobody waits on the tax man, right? How many people on Guam, or is it very common on Guam, do people make like just one lump sum payment to cover their property tax bill, or do they work out a payment schedule, or?
Well, there are two schedules, February 20 and I believe April 20. These are the two dates, and people normally will pay in February, and the balance, they split it up. The government splits it up in two payments, but there are individuals who just want to be done with it. The problem is trying to remember to pay it on the 20th of February and the 20th of April. And sometimes we forget. So sometimes the easiest thing is just pay the darn thing one time and you don't have to worry. But everyone's different. But I think the majority usually will split the payments. It makes it easier, especially when they're dealing with a number of properties. It's
You
kind
can't use Valentine's Day as an excuse because you
No.
took your sweetheart out. You still owe your taxes.
No. And it's burdensome to be lumping that full payment at one time. So normally they would split the payment. Thank goodness the government allows for 2 separate payments,
There you go.
right?
Well, very fair, hopefully. And, I mean, it is the law. And, you know what they say then. I mean, hopefully we pass along some information to you. This is a lot of stuff that I know people did not know. So put some comments in our comment section, everybody, and let us know like what questions you have about this year's property tax season, because we'd be happy to get the answers for you. Meanwhile, Liz is going to enjoy Las Vegas and Gina's going to enjoy downtown Agana.
Love it.
Bye, Jason.
All right.
Thank you.
Travel safe, you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks.
House to Home, presented by RE/MAX Diamond Realty.
Guam's auto appearance specialist, Elegant Reflections, has been providing the automotive industry with professional detailing and car care products at its highest quality, from complete detailing, full interior detailing, exterior detailing, headlamp restoration, hand washing, seat and carpet shampoo, engine degreasing, undercarriage cleaning, paint sealant, fabric protection, paint oxidation removal, and so much more. Visit us at our new location. Call 646-5555 for an appointment. Elegant Reflections, Guam's auto appearance specialist, over 20 years of experience.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo's Select Care.
Half a day, I'm Claire Calvo, bringing you your weekly renewal. Today, I am here with Select Care's Wellness Program Administrator, Josh Dunn. Half a day, Josh.
Half a day.
It's great to have you on. We're always talking about everything you guys at Select Care offer, specifically you as the Wellness Program Administrator, but we have you here to share about all of it. So first, give us a little bit about your background. I know that you're a licensed nutritionist as well as integrative practitioner. So can you share a little bit with our viewers what that's?
My undergrad's in public health, so I see my work at Calvo Select Care as really a public health aspect, right? I'm also a licensed nutritionist, so I bring that angle as well. And then I'm an integrative nutrition health coach. So I've been in this health field since about 2016. And so I'm really just passionate about getting people healthier, and then sort of how that translates into insurance and what people are already paying for. I kind of want to make them abundantly aware of the benefits that they have.
Yeah.
So that's my primary role.
Well, it's important. I think it's incredibly important to have someone with your background and with that position, because you want someone who's well-versed in everything wellness and nutrition based. Can you explain a little bit about integrative nutrition health coach?
Also, that's kind of a holistic approach, right? So, I mean, you can eat all the healthy food you want, but there's other aspects to health than just, just food, right? You gotta sleep well, you gotta take care of your mental health, you gotta get some movement in there, having a purpose to your life that's gonna make a big difference. So combining all of those things and not just kind of letting it only be about food,
right.
That's what's gonna translate to real true health and vibrancy. With the wellness program at Calvo Select Care, I mean, I guess I can start with the health risk assessment, right? So it's a 10 to 15 minute online survey, all confidential, depending on how tech savvy you are. It'll ask questions about nutrition, your movement, your labs, how your mental health is, and then at the end of that, you'll get a comprehensive report, right? It'll grade you out of 100. Additionally, it'll also give you a physician's report, right? So you have one-page printout that you can give to your doctor when you go to your annual physical, and then all of a sudden your physician's got way more context about you, more so than just your demographics and your current labs, right?
And this is open to all.
This is open to all Calvo Select Care. So you go to calvos.net, and then you go into your portal, and then there's a button there that you can click for health risk assessments.
Right, and it's free.
And it's totally free. On top of that, we got a bunch of fitness partners, right? So depending on where you live and your style of how you want to work out, we got a bunch of different partners. Synergy, Paradise, Unified, Custom Fitness, International Sports Center, Rocket Ride. Hilton Wellness Center. So depending on where you live and your style, right, we've got a whole bunch of options for you to get moving. With all of those partners, right, when you sign up for a gym, you know, it's kind of a big commitment, right, where you sign up for a 3 or 6 month or 12-month contract. Yeah. So I like to point people towards the weekday workout. And this is a monthly calendar of free workout classes. All of the members, Calvo Select Care members, can drop into these classes without having a membership and test out the class, right? So we have it from all these different partners. So I tell people, you know, before you make your commitment, try one of the weekday workout classes out and see if it's a fit for you. And
There's
then,
about 30, right? 30 a week?
Yep, about 30 classes that happen per week. Lots of options, a lot of different styles, aqua Zumba, yoga, boxing, all of it, right? And then you can make a more informed decision about where you want to work out and take your membership, essentially.
Thank you so much. This is part 1 of a 2-part series. We'll see you next week, more with Josh.
Weekly Renewal is brought to you by Calvo Select Care.
How deep do Pizza Hut's roots run in the islands? Through all the decades, we know what you love. Great taste at an even better price. Like our large one-topping carry-out pizza for just $15.99. You choose your favorite topping, pepperoni, olives, sausage, or any other single topping. Our $15.99 large one-topping pizza. Order online and carry one out today. Only at Pizza Hut, the island's best.
Something is calling, and I can't help it. Let's don't be wrong when there ain't no soul. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when I make a move. Watch me as I go. This is my mood when let's take a break. There's no use. This is my mood when I make a move. This is my mood when
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
For many children, dealing with loss or significant life changes can be overwhelming. That's where Rainbows for All Children steps in. The international evidence-based nonprofit provides structured support to youth facing grief, separation, or other emotional challenges. Executive Director for Rainbows for All Children, Marie Holleran.
The beauty of Rainbows too is there's confidentiality. So the kids know that they can trust their peers and they're guided by a trained facilitator. So there's an adult that's with them. And then let's say on today's lesson, we'll talk about feelings. And then there's a journal that they read. And then after reading, each child is able to express what they learned from that lesson. And then at the end of the lesson, they reflect on what they have learned. So it's very powerful program. And and the camaraderie and the bonding between the kids is so neat to see.
The goal is to give the kids the tools they need to build resilience and hope. The Rainbows program at Agana Heights Elementary School is strong and currently has over 40 children participating and has recently returned after a brief hiatus. Fourth graders at the home of the Bumblebees, 9-year-olds Aurora Ontalon and Alexia Jane McCann, have been a part of the program. They explain they heard about Rainbows through their teacher.
We talk about feelings. We talk about the stage that we're in of grief.
And has it been helping each of you?
Yes.
And they say it's made a big difference in their lives.
The program is kind of cool and it helps us by expressing our feelings. It helps you to open up how you feel.
Along with talking about their feelings, they participate in various art projects, keep a journal to write their thoughts, and talk with other students. As a result, they've been able to open up more and have become more outgoing outside of the meetings, which are held every Wednesday at the campus. For Aurora and Alexia, Rainbows has been more than just a program. It's been a lifeline. Ensuring that more children like Aurora and Alexia have the support they need, you can play a big part by participating in the Rainbows for All Children 37th Annual 3.5 Miles Run Walk taking place on March 1st. You can register at Goodies and at the St. Anthony Catholic School office. Pre-registration is $15 and the day of the race is $20.
Doing this for 37 years, it has really helped Rainbows because we don't get any local or federal funding. So it's the private sector like KUAM CareForce has been helping us for 30-some years. And because of the help of the private sector, we're able to continue the program.
Health Check is brought to you locally by Island Cancer Center.
That's all for Health, Home, and Lifestyle, everybody. Thank you as always for watching. And remember, you can stream all of our segments on our YouTube channel, youtube.com/KUAM News. I'm Jason Salas. Stay healthy, KUAM.